let's talk about how I actually got and stayed that way. Not for a month, not for a photo shoot, for good. This is the reality on how I trained my brain to be mentally, physically, energetically. It's not a trick, it's not a hack. It's a standard, a nervous system recalibration, a mental edit. And if you want the 7-day journal I built to rewire your own brain, I dropped the full reset on Gumroad. The link is in the description. To start, let's talk about the food obsessed vibes that I was in. I was working a 9 to 5, but since I was interning at a bank, it was mostly 8 to 8. I was barely breathing. I was just surviving. The only thing that broke up the chaos for me was food. I lived for lunch break, I lived for dinner break. My days revolved around what I'd eat next. Not because I was starving, but because I was empty, overstimulated, fried. Food was my only dopamine hit, my signal that I was still human. I wasn't fueling, I was coping. The second I stopped centering my life around food, I stopped centering my breaks around kava or Chipotle or my healthy lunch. Even though it was healthy, I was still focusing on food. I was honestly more healthy back then. I cared about the healthiest quality ingredients. But instead of doing that, I started centering my breaks around walks, fresh air, 3 minutes of stretching, 3 minutes of meditation instead of doom scrolling. That was the first mental edit. I used to wake up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym before the office, but instead I slept in. I walked for 20 minutes before work, 20 minutes at lunch, and 30 minutes after work, and it cleared my head more than $50 classes. I wasn't thinking about food all day anymore. I was thinking about air, movement, distance from my screen. I wasn't obsessed with my reflection, my outside. I was just present. Seriously, weight loss was a side effect of my 10K steps. I started walking because it saved my mind, not because I needed to shrink. Shrinking was the side effect because it gave me clarity of not being in the spiral 24/7. I didn't count calories, I didn't count macros, I didn't log protein. I tracked portions, I tracked my energy, I tracked how I felt. Because the truth is, if you wake up tired, puffy, anxious, heavy, your whole life feels like a chore. Especially if you already hate your job, your routine, your everything. When your body feels heavy, your life does too. The anxiety loop is probably why you're overeating. I was not just overeating because I was hungry, but because I was so anxious. My body didn't feel safe, so food became my only relief. The kava bowl, the sweet green, the ice cream, it wasn't about hunger. Lunch wasn't just a meal, it was a self-soothing situation. But that was a self-regulation issue. The fix that I did, I started to regulate before I ate. I swapped anxiety for clarity. I stopped using food to fix my bad day. I started walking, using deep stretching, deep breathing. I didn't eat out of panic anymore. I paused, I asked myself, how do I want to feel tomorrow? That was the only question that mattered. Not, is it low carb? Is it clean? Just, will this make me feel better tomorrow? Isn't about deprivation, it's about discernment. You don't need to restrict everything, you just need to stop lying to yourself. You don't need to cut out the ice cream, you need to cut out the guilt loop. You don't need to starve yourself, you need to stop sedating. It's waking up and not thinking about food first thing in the morning. It's waking up and not needing food to feel okay. It's waking up to feel light, not stuffed. I walked every day, even on long office days. I moved instead of being numb. I stretched, I breathed. I swapped coffee for electrolyte. I focused on portion, not punishment, and that was the best thing ever. I let food be food. I didn't let food be my therapist. I wasn't perfect, but I was consistent and visibly disciplined. I stopped saying, can I have this? And started saying, I can, but do I want the outcome? Eating less is demonized in America, but overeating is glorified. We don't have a skinny epidemic. We have a chronic obesity fullness epidemic, an addiction to fullness. I ate less because I liked what it gave me: energy, elegance, space to think. I didn't eat less because I hated myself. I didn't want to have to put on stretchy sweatpants or feel like I had a walking stomach ache everywhere. If you want the actual system I built for this, nervous system tools, portion control rewiring, daily check-ins, I made it for you. It's called Train Your Brain to Become. It's a 7-day mental and emotional reset. It's in Gumroad now. The link is in my bio. It's structured, no fluff, just the system. You don't need a diet, you need a decision. To stop using food as your fix. To stop worshiping fullness. To stop making every emotion an excuse to chew. Eat less, feel better, get clearer, move more, sleep in, say no, portion on purpose. You don't need to be perfect, you need to be clean, clear, calm. It isn't a goal, it's a new standard. The old coped with food. The new regulates you. Breathe, portion, pause. And that's why she's hunger is not an emergency. You're going to be okay if you don't eat right away. You are not in danger. The craving is not hunger. It's emotional sedation. Most of the time, you're not even physically hungry. You're seeking a feeling, you're seeking relief. You'll know when you're truly hungry, trust me. Your energy will drop. Your body will speak. Hungry isn't a mystery. It's a physical signal. You'll feel the pang, a hollow, a drop in clarity. You won't have to guess. When the signal comes, that's when you eat. That's when you nourish. That's when you feed your body, not your patterns. Every decision reinforces the identity. Once you become thin, especially when you become thin, and especially if it's not your natural baseline, it becomes your norm. The stairs over the escalator, the walk instead of the Uber, not because you're trying to burn calories, but because you're not lazy. You move because it feels good, because you want clarity, because walking is therapy. It's mental regulation. It's not about your 10,000 steps for your tracker. It's about unwinding, breathing, being alone in your thoughts, and not spiraling. Eating well equals living well. Choosing chicken over pasta isn't about fear, or isn't about fear of carbs. It's about wanting to feel light tomorrow, wanting to digest well, wanting to respect your system. And when you frame it like that, when your food decision comes from your clarity and connection, it's not restriction, it's refinement, it's a gift. You're allowed to eat pasta, cake, sugar, but when it comes every day, you're not nourishing, you're numbing. And that's when you pivot. That's where you pause. Change the question, not to, can I have this, but do I want this to be a habit? Because the real work isn't in stopping, it's in wanting to stop. This body is not about weight loss. This body is an energy exchange. You give your body discipline, structure, patience, and it gives you lightness, strength, radiance. It gives you the image you've always seen in your mind. But once you have it, you must defend it. People will project. They will envy it. They will try to sabotage. You cannot hate this girl and become her, just like you cannot hate wealth and become rich. If another woman's body triggers you, ask yourself why. If her image brings you envy, transform it into fuel. Don't hate, lock eyes with it. Declare, I will have this body in this lifetime. Envy is exhausting. Inspiration is light. You don't need to compete. Use the image as clarity, not as comparison. Hating a girl for being thin won't make you love yourself. Use her as your North Star. Create a mood board. Get dressed in a way that reflects who you're becoming, not who you were. Surround yourself with women who are doing the work, because this is how you stay in it. You don't stay disciplined through willpower. You stay disciplined through reminders. Community is the fuel. The reason my community works. Constant reminders from girls everywhere. Every background, every job, different jobs, routines, cultures, but one shared standard. Not perfection, precision, intention. We don't starve, we regulate. We ask, am I hungry? Or am I avoiding the feeling? We move our bodies daily, not to punish, to stay sharp, to stay clear, to get out of our heads. Walking is a girl's best friend. Walking isn't just cardio, it's clarity. It keeps the cortisol low. It doesn't spike cravings. It's low impact with high return. Don't stress about hitting 10,000 steps in one shot. Break it up. 10 minutes after coffee, 20 minutes on lunch, 30 minutes after work. Focus on the minutes, not the steps. It seems way less scary. It adds up and it rewires your identity. High intensity workouts left me starving, inflamed, tired. Walking calmed me, stabilized me, made me feel better, made me feel good in my body, not me fighting against it. Meal plans, let's get into that. You know what looks like when the habits run on autopilot. You're not on a plan, you're not overeating, you're not tracking every calorie, you're not starting over every Monday. 85% of my meals are for stability, 15% are for fun. Dessert at dinner? Sure, but not every night. Because dessert every night isn't indulgence, it's dependence. And when you live in a culture where the plate is triple the size it should be, it means stopping before full, putting the fork down, getting up and saving the rest. That's how the habits stick. Discipline builds everything. Discipline with food creates discipline with energy, with relationships, with your life, with work. Everything rises. When you start treating yourself like your body matters, suddenly so does everything else. That's the secret and that's the standard. Let's talk about the part no one wants to tell you about when you finally get. What happens when you actually are. Not the aesthetic part, but the identity part. The mental rewiring, the social side-eye, the silent shifts. People think the opposite of being fat is starving, but that's not. That's self-destruction. It's control. It's calibration. It's strategic. The real tricks, they're dressed up as discipline. Like skipping meals because you feel guilty after overeating. That's not power. That's literally an overeating cycle waiting to happen. You're not being strong, you're being reactive. Girls don't punish, they pivot. Feel off, just eat smart during that day. And no, they're not sprinting for hours to burn off last night's overindulgence. We walk, we lift light, we move smart. We don't overtrain to prove something to my reflection. We regulate, we stay in rhythm. You want to stay slim? Build habits that are elegant, respectable, and anti-spiral. Let's say you did slip, you did spiral. You're bloated, you feel off. Here's what we do in this society. We don't throw away the whole wheat. We reset like we mean it. We cut it off immediately. The overeating ends when we say it ends. No last bite, no cleaning your plate. We just move on. We throw out all that nonsense in our brain and we rewire it. One way I like to reset is just taking an everything shower, brushing my teeth, changing my clothes. It just shifts the energy. Don't keep foods that you tend to overeat in your house and pretend you're strong for resisting. You're not lazy, you're just not protected. There's a difference. Re-stabilize. Start with protein, water, fiber, magnesium. Move, but don't punish yourself. You need a long walk to clear your mind, not a redemption arc marathon. Let your body reset. Identify the trigger that's making you act up like this. Bored, lonely, overstimulated. Ask yourself, what did I need that food could give me? Reaffirm that identity. I'm not what I did, I'm what I choose next. Eat your next meal like it never happened, because it didn't. It's not about shame, it's about strategy. People will stare longer, compliment more, project harder. You're here, you've lost too much weight, you look sick, eat a burger. The translation to that is, I'm uncomfortable with your discipline because I lack it. No one tells a girl you need to stop eating fries, but to a girl, it's open season. You become seen, and being seen is uncomfortable for people who've built their whole life in safety around being invisible, and suddenly you're not just thin, you're aspirational. You're proof that self-control is possible, and that's what makes people spiral. You'll feel powerful and exposed because comes with social power. Kind of equals money in today's society. It sells, it unlocks rooms. It doesn't mean you're better, it means you stopped leaking energy. You're not existing, you're curating. You're not just eating, you're choosing. You thought the hard part was the weight loss, but no one tells you the real war starts after. You'll lose friends, you'll hear shady comments. People will start saying, you've changed, you're obsessed, you used to be so fun. They're not mad at you, they're mad at the reminder that growth is possible and that they stayed the same. You didn't just lose pounds, you lost the version of yourself and the version of you that made herself feel small on the inside and that made you feel digestible to others. You're not palatable anymore. You don't owe anyone proof that you still eat. Let them be confused. Let them think you're extreme. Let them copy you in private while mocking you in public. You're the blueprint now. They'll study you, they'll steal from you. They're not scared of your thinness. They're scared of what it represents. Discipline, vision, ownership. This isn't just about weight. It's about how you carry it. It's about not apologizing for being powerful. Is elegance. It says, I pay attention. I take care of the details. I don't need to scream. My presence is the headline. You don't need to be rich to look expensive. You don't need to be loud to get your command across. Go be a girl they all can't stop watching. I'll see you in a few days where we're going to talk about meal plans and all of that sort of situations. Love you. Oof. Guess who's back again? Okay girls, let's talk about when a meal plan hits my For You page. I say, sorry, wrong number. I don't take orders from someone who's never seen my body or my appetite in action. Stop outsourcing who decides when you get to eat. I don't need strangers telling me when I decide to feel hunger. If I'm hungry, I eat. If I stop, I'm full. Food isn't the boss of me, I am. Meal plans don't know me, I do. And I stopped outsourcing my instincts a long time ago. That's why I eat when my body says feed me, not when some document screams snack time. Stop letting meal plans raise you. Start listening to your body. Stop feeling guilty for eating ice cream. You know what doesn't burn calories? Guilt. You feel guilty, you spiral, then what? You end up eating more. Not because you're hungry, but because shame disconnected you from your body. It's not the ice cream that ruins your goals. It's what happens after. The second helping, the third, the I already messed up, so who cares? That moment. That's not a food issue, that's a mindset issue. I eat the ice cream, I enjoy it, and I move on. No apology, no shame, no spiral. No punishment, no I'll work out tomorrow. Just satisfaction, discipline, and portion control. Because sugar isn't the villain, disconnection is. Eating something sweet isn't the problem. Not knowing when to stop, that's the problem. You don't need to cut out dessert. You need to cut out the chaos that follows it. That's the difference between being soft and being isn't about saying no to everything. It's about knowing what you actually want and knowing when to stop. That's how you stay in control. This is how you stay. And yes, I still eat the ice cream and I'm still. So many people ask me, how do you stay so disciplined? And honestly, it's not just about health, it's about stewardship. Because when you shift the why, that's how things get easier. I'm not trying to push anything on anyone. That's the thing with my channel, is it's all religions, all backgrounds. You don't have to agree with everything I say. You don't have to listen to my opinions. That's the beauty of all having an opinion. I'm Catholic. So 1 Corinthians 6:19-20 says, your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you. You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your body. That verse changed my routines, my food choices, my movement. It all became less about aesthetic, not in a fear-based way or a rule-heavy way. I get one body, so I'm going to honor it way. Your body is holy, and how you care for it is an act of worship. Not everyone talks about that because it's easier to make wellness sound superficial or shame-based. But what if we reframed it? What if healthy eating, daily walks, portion controlling, going to bed early, what if that's spiritual acts? What if getting stronger, more energized, more alert wasn't just glow-up culture, but it was obedient? Taking care of your body doesn't have to be intimidating. Portion controlling doesn't have to be disordered. Gluttony is literally a sin, guys. It doesn't have to be obsessive. Jesus fasted and walked for us for like Lent 40 days. You don't have to be that obsessive, but I would recommend to be intentional. God designed you with purpose, and with that comes responsibility. We don't get to create his creation like it's disposable. He gave you a vessel. He expects you to steward it. And yes, that includes how you eat. Have a little bit of ego when it comes to food. Let's not just go to McDonald's every day and stuff burgers down it. I'll be the first to admit, I love sweets, okay? But I don't want to do that every day and stuff myself with it. Also, how you move, how you sleep, what you consume physically and mentally. When your body is in order, your spirit can thrive. And when your body is in chaos, it's harder to hear him clearly. It's hard to serve, it's hard to show up. So no, this isn't about vanity. This is about reverence, about saying, God, I honor what you gave me. I'll take care of it like it matters, because it does. Respect the gift, steward it well. That's not just self-care, that's obedience, whatever you believe in, whether that's God, whether you're Buddhist, Muslim, Jewish, whether you don't believe in anything and you're just spiritual and you believe in a spirit, some higher power, or like the universe, the earth, something, I would want you to treat your body with respect, because I want this a place for all backgrounds, all religion, all race, all ethnicity. I'm sharing like what I believe in. You can interchange Jesus to whatever you believe in. That helps me a lot. I've been on anxiety medicine since I've been in 3rd grade, and I've gained weight and I've also lost weight on my anxiety medicine. Blaming it on the medication or genetics, because some women swear they can't lose weight because of metabolism or medicine, but I have yet to meet a single girl in this society who didn't drop the weight by simply eating less. I've gained the same 20 pounds on the same anxiety medicine. It wasn't the prescription, it was my portions and what I put in my mouth. So if you've gained a little bit of weight, here's how to lose some excess weight. It's not about working out in the gym, eating healthy, intermittent fasting, eating only from home, eating before 8 p.m. All those things are great, but weight loss requires hunger. If you miss that part, you missed the point. I want to talk about how to actually lose weight, get snatched, and glow up for the summer. No Pinterest board required. Step 1, let hunger be your mirror, not your enemy. Stop being scared of something that feels real. You're not starving, you're avoiding. Hunger is a signal, a moment. Use it as a feedback, not a crisis. Ask yourself, are you hungry? Or are you just bored, spiraling, or craving control? 2, learn to be full on less. Not just less food, but less noise, less chaos in your life. Most people are overeating not because they're hungry, they're overstimulated. You don't need another meal plan or what I eat in a day. You need discipline. Slim is subtraction. You're not underfed, you're overfed with distraction. Unplug, recenter, and walk. Step 3 is start anyway. Waiting for a hot body before you take action is like waiting for motivation to melt down. Clean up your energy, eat like someone with standards, move like someone who's evolving. You don't need abs to wear an outfit. Glow ups don't come from comfort, they come from clarity. So get clear, get and stop pretending you're not powerful. Stop comparing what other people eat because your body knows best. Stop saying, if I ate what she ate, I'd be huge. Stop looking at your boyfriend's plate like it's some kind of personal betrayal. Stop comparing what you eat compared to your friend and make you feel like you're doing something wrong. Eating is not a group project. I don't care what your roommate eats. I don't care if your boyfriend eats 3,000 calories a day and still has abs. I don't care if your coworker does hot yoga and then downs protein muffins all day. You know what I care about? How your body feels, what your energy is like, what actually makes you feel light and clear, focused and in control. Comparison is a distraction. When you're sitting here still thinking, why does she get to eat that all day and still stay slim? Why does she get to eat all this food? Why is my boyfriend eating like a linebacker and I gain weight looking at bread? It's not fair. I should be able to eat more. You are outsourcing your power. You are making someone else's biology your business. You're like, oh,
my boyfriend gets to eat the whole pizza.
Okay, well, what if your boyfriend was a Great Dane? Would you be like, oh, my Great Dane gets to eat 5 dog biscuits and I only get to eat 1? Are you okay? Your boyfriend is not your benchmark. Your best friend is not your calorie calculator. You are not living in someone else's metabolic blueprint, and that's the whole point. You're not supposed to. Maybe you just need less now. Maybe you don't need as much food as you're used to. You're not 18 anymore. You're not dancing 6 hours a day, or like me, I was doing soccer 4 hours a day. You're not in that body or that moment. I'm 23 now. I used to eat more at 18 and even 21, but I also used to over-exercise. Now I walk and I do a few toning exercises. So no, I don't need the same amount of food that I used to, and I'm not fighting that. It's not unfair, it's just a shift. The voice that says,
well, I should be able to eat that much,
isn't based in reality, it's based in ego. It's the same voice that says, oh, I should be able to still wear those jeans from freshman year. Okay, well, I should have a penthouse in New York City, sipping champagne all day and getting massages all day. But that's not what we're sitting here doing today. Let's just deal with the truth and the facts. You need what you need, and what you should is irrelevant, and being fair is irrelevant too. The goal is to feel good, not to win some fake contest about who can eat the most and still be I just don't care. You know how much I think about other people's meals and how much they're eating? Zero. Because they don't know what I need. They don't know how my body works. They don't know my goals, my hormones, my hunger, my energy. They're not me. So why would I ever hand my food decision to strangers with no opinion, no context? I'm not looking for food approval. I'm not taking a vote before I eat. Food isn't the boss of me, I am. So never outsource your hunger. Meal plans don't know you. PDFs don't know you. Your favorite influencers, what I eat in a day, also doesn't know you, so don't try and copy those. You're still sitting there like, well, she gets full off 6 ounces of chicken. I only get full off 3. Okay, cool. Maybe your body's more efficient. Maybe you're less active. Maybe you just need less. Do you think about how much air people breathe? Like, damn, she is breathing more air than me. That's not fair. No, because that would be crazy. Stop doing it with food. That's your job. Not your boyfriend's job, not TikTok's job, not some dietitian's job that you don't know, not your mom, your group chat, or some girl from Reddit. You are the authority. And yes, it takes trial and error. It takes awareness. It takes honesty. It takes the courage to say, wow, that's too much. That wasn't enough. That didn't work. But when you stop comparing your body and you start connecting with your actual body, not the one you wish you had, not the one someone else lives in, yours. Here's your new rule. Stop comparing your portions. Stop making someone else's appetite your problem. Your plate is your responsibility. Your fullness is your finish line. And your body, that's your whole mood. And that's your whole role. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You just need to trust your own body and listen. Every time you hear yourself saying, well, she gets to, stop, pause, and come back to this. Food isn't the boss of me, I am. So stop trying to get away with it. The only time you actually lose weight and keep it off is when you stop trying to get away with as much food as humanly possible and still lose weight. As well as when you eat when you're hungry and you stop when you're full, you have to be hungry to lose weight. If you are thinking about how much food can I eat and still get, how can I sneak in and still be mindset, it's not clever, it's not controlled, it's desperate. If your whole approach is how much can I get away with, you're already in the wrong game. That's greedy, that's disconnected. It's not about how much you can eat, it's about how much you actually feel. And most people never ask themselves that. You're not going to feel full with the whole strategy. Eat more now so I can eat less later. You're not going to feel satisfied if your entire identity is built around how many low-cal tricks you can squeeze in before 3 p.m. That's not discipline, that's mental scarcity. You don't need to sneak food behind your own back. You were there, you watched it happen. You're not gaming the system, you are the system. You need to sit with your appetite like a grown woman and listen. You need to catch yourself mid-thought. I can eat it because it's healthy. I can eat more because it's fat-free. No, that's not hunger. That's fear. You're hoarding. You're rationing. You're reaching. And none of that will ever feel like enough. That's exactly why I built this society, because no one is teaching a woman how to feel satisfied. Everyone's teaching them how to fake control and call it discipline. In my world, we don't negotiate with food. We don't count loopholes. We don't chase fullness. We eat when we're hungry and we stop when we're satisfied, and that's it. It's okay to be hungry. If you're done with the mental hunger games, apply. The July round opens now. I'm only taking a few girls. This society is not for girls who just want more tips. It's for girls who want out. Application close soon. If you get in, I'll see you inside. So I love you guys. I'll see you next Sunday. Have the best week ever. Skinni PSA. Oop, technical difficulties. Skinni PSA. I have a public service announcement for you girls. If you are overweight, you are not under eating. I cannot believe this still has to be said. And I know this sounds obvious, but in today's society, we obviously need clarification. If there are a woman being told by professionals that their weight gain is due to not eating enough. I'm sorry, what? And now they're here because obviously it made them gain more weight. It backfired. If you're carrying excess weight, your body has excess storage to tap into. That's how weight loss works. Your body is literally storing energy. So eating less, not the crisis you think it is. It's called a correction. We've confused discipline with danger. Choosing not to eat just because the clock says snack time. That's not disorder. Skipping a meal when you're not hungry, that's also not disorder. That's not deprivation. It's discernment. You're allowed to feel light. You're allowed to stop eating before you feel stuffed. Coming from a certified weight loss coach and health coach, me. Deprivation and restriction is when you swap out a regular pizza that you're craving for a cauliflower crust one. It's when you're eating low calorie protein halo top ice cream when you want the real one. That's not health, that's restriction. Restriction is not under eating when your body is full. It's not under eating or eating less for one day because your body feels full from the night before. It's literally how your hunger cues are supposed to work. That's why I made the portion control guide, a link below, for $9.99. No fluff, it's just structure. And while you're there, the 30-day new me tracker is live. If you're ready to follow through and stop thinking about food all day long, join the new society. Society. This is where the fixation ends, where food gets back in place, where you remember you're not out of control, you're just undisciplined, and discipline can be learned. You're not broken, I promise. Just a reminder, we're doing it a slow process because I'm picking people I know first, people who were in the old society. So make sure that you keep applying if you want to be in this. Also, just focus on what you are eating. We need to stop focusing on what we're doing wrong. We need to start focusing on what we could be doing better, because when you're focusing on what we're doing wrong, oh, it's my thyroid, oh, it's processed food, you're not getting anywhere. You're focusing on the negatives. You need to stop focusing on what could go wrong and start focusing on how you're bettering yourself, controlling your portions, not things that are like, oh, it's the processed bread, oh, it's I'm undisciplined, because then you're not going to trust yourself and you're not going to trust your body. I want you all to focus on how you can improve. That's it. Love you. Bye. Why am I upside down? Hi. So I know this vlog's kind of long, but this is what we're gonna end with. The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. The only weight loss method that actually works, the one your grandma used. Not a wellness influencer, not Reddit, your grandma. She just ate less, and now that's considered controversial with Gen Z. Let's be clear, your grandma probably didn't count her calories. She didn't track, she didn't order a cauliflower pizza or sign up for a parasite cleanse. She simply ate less and put the fork down, and she probably went on with her day. No drama, no diagnosis, none of that. Now we've got girls blaming their weight on their hormones, their seed oils, their gluten, their processed bread. But bread isn't the issue. It's the fourth slice, and we both know that. You're not confused. You're just full and pretending you're not. The weight loss advice that set me free, it's not about the food. It's about the quantity, how much you're consuming. Simply eat less, aka stop eating so much. You can eat processed food. Your body isn't broken. Your portions are. We live in a generation that worships the idea of eating whatever you want and never gaining weight. That's not freedom, that's fantasy. Now we cancel women for saying they want to be thin. Suddenly you say you don't want to carry around extra storage, and suddenly you're the villain. It's not phobia, it's physics. If you're done pretending that overeating is empowerment and you're ready to get light and get disciplined, applications for July are open in my bio for tough cookies only. And no, you don't get to eat them all, only in portions. Love you.